Hi everyone, it's Eric from ecommon12.blogspot.com and welcome to my full review of the Nokia Lumia 930. A big thanks must go over to Nokia for sending me this out to review. And the reason why I'm actually a little bit late bringing you this review is because I am normally used to handling loads of Android devices, and Windows Phone is the one that I've rarely used, and I needed more time to actually form my opinion of it. So that's why this review is a little bit later and I need to spend more time with this device, and more of that towards the end. Now let's start off with the bad aspects of the Lumia 930. We'll get those out of the way and then move on to the really good stuff. So, one of the things which I did not like about the Lumia 930 was the fact that there was no notification LED anywhere to be found on the front of the device. But normally whenever I have any notifications, or if I come back to my phone after a few hours or something when I'm not around it, I'd always like to see a notification telling me if I got a notification like email or something to sort of check, instead of me having to constantly turning the screen on, well, first picking the phone up, turn the screen on, then seeing there's no notification, then turning it back off. A notification LED just saves me time, which I prefer. The other thing is that the 1080p video. Now, the 1080p video was very good, definitely. It wasn't bad, not by any stretch of the imagination. I just think it could have been better. I've seen better 1080p video capture from smartphones out there. And the next bad aspect is what everyone pretty much has come to expect. The lack of apps on Windows Phone. Now, they are definitely improving, they really are improving, because now you get stuff like Instagram application, which is available as opposed to when it wasn't, and you get various other social networking apps, and you do get some more games available, like the new Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy application. But it's still sort of like limited, especially for me. I still need more apps, and one of the more essential apps, which I was really spending so much time to look for, was a YouTube app. In fact, I'm just going to search that for you very quickly, and this will give you a chance to look at the keyboard, which is very, very nice. Every single YouTube app, once you search for it, all of these, there's some paid-for YouTube apps, there are some free ones as well, but all of these, I'm going to save you the time I was looking through all of them take you to the mobile website, and then it's the exact same experience from there. Heck, they even charge you about 79 pence or more to take you to the mobile website, so a lot of rip-offy YouTube apps, although I did find one, and I will tell you about that towards the end of this video. But as you can see, loads of YouTube apps, all of them are really useless. And YouTube app, I think, is essential. That should come built into these devices. But alas, we were still looking to find a good YouTube app. Although I have found a solution, which I'll come to at the end of this video. So, those are all my bad points out of the way. Believe it or not, I've only just got a few. The lack of apps is a big one. The 20 megapixel camera for taking photos, this I was really surprised by. Just recently I've reviewed the Sony Xperia Z2, and that smartphone also has a 20 megapixel camera, but since the smartphone was so thin, it was actually harder for Sony to cram a decent camera in there. It was still decent, but nowhere near as good as the Lumia 930's 20 megapixel camera. The reason why the Lumia actually has a better camera is because the device is thicker. Now, it's not way too thick or anything, it feels like it's just the right amount of thickness, and with this extra thickness, what Nokia were able to do was integrate a much better camera inside here. And one of the things I love about the camera is I can just take this out of my pocket, or whilst I'm taking this out of my pocket, my thumb can gain contact to the camera shutter button, and if you hold on to it for about 2 seconds, you'll feel a vibration, and it will automatically take you to the camera application. And the controls from here are very, very simple. Touch to focus, where you look at your gallery, gain access to all of these options and settings. It's so easy to operate, and the camera really is an absolute joy to use on this smartphone. And another thing I really loved was the build quality. First of all, the screen just looks so good. It's an OLED 1080p screen, and the colours really do pop. This is one of the most vibrant colours I've ever seen on a 1080p panel smartphone. And just the whole design of the device looks great. Normally I don't like these flashy colours on the back of my device because I think they look cheap. But not with this. This actually feels very nice and, instead of matte, more satiny, which feels very luxurious every time you reach out into your pocket to pull it out. And the sort of like metal band that goes around the circumference of the smartphone is really, really nice to actually feel. As you hold it in your hand, you can feel it with the side of your hand over here, and you can feel it with your fingers over here as well. It just feels so nice, and I can't fault the build quality at all. Now, I do not drop this. I always take care of my stuff, definitely, but I can tell if I was to drop this, this would survive the drop. 2 severe drops, obviously it might get a dent or something, but seriously, apart from that, it's a very, very good build quality and does feel very, very durable indeed. The screen, as I mentioned, is very nice, colourful and vibrant. As you can see, I've got a different wallpaper in the background. As you can see with these more transparent apps, you can see it sort of like pans around it. That's a very, very unique way of wallpapers that have been integrated into the Windows Phone operating system. The performance is also wonderful. As I'm swiping between screens, it's so fluid. And also, you've seen me do some gaming performance tests of this smartphone, and it really does perform very adequately and very nicely indeed. So, again, with performance, I can't fault it. It's got a really good processor, really good screen, and really good camera. What else is it that I like? Well, my main problem, as all of you know, is that Windows Phone really is severely lacking in apps. I've mentioned this before, and I've mentioned this in my other Nokia or, say, HTC Windows Phone reviews. And they definitely have improved on it in this sense. Now, you saw all those, like, false YouTube apps there, but after a good amount of searching, which is, again, one of the reasons I needed to spend more time with this phone, I found a good YouTube app. Now, YouTube I use a lot, and that's one of the essential apps I need on a smartphone. Android has it, iOS has it, Windows Phone has taken a very long time to have it, but it's finally got a very good one. Now, here it is, it's called YouTube HD. There is a pro version of this, which costs money, but to tell you the truth, I think it's worth it. Now, you can see as I start it up, this has got a very Windows Phone-esque looking user interface, which is great, so it's not using the same YouTube interface that you got on, say, iOS or Android. This does feel like its own Windows Phone YouTube app. Now, if I scroll between this, you can see, very fluid, just like the Windows Phone home screen. And you can see I've got screenshots of my subscriptions over here. And if I tap into this, it will show videos from my subscriptions that you can then scroll between and then watch. And then you can swipe between your favorites, your watch laters, and your playlists, etc, etc. So I really like the way it's laid out. Now, I'm not going to show you any of my subscriptions videos due to copyright reasons, but let's just go into search, and we'll tap on HD. And let's search for one of my videos. And let's press search. Now you can see, very quickly spot up all the results. You can see all my videos. Now normally with any of these other YouTube apps that you would get, what would always happen is you're going to have to press onto it and it'll take you to the mobile website. Well, this doesn't. I'm going to press on my Mortal Kombat PS Vita review. As you can see, the video is about to play. And you can select low quality, high quality, or high definition. And you can press play. And the video will start playing, and you can turn it into landscape mode, and the video looks absolutely phenomenal. It looks so much better than it does look on the mobile website. Now, I'm going to crank the volume up so you can actually listen to the speakers of the Lumia 930. But with the release of Injustice Guards Among Us for the PS Vita arriving soon, I just wanted to share my thoughts about NetherRealm's first outing on the system, and then I will review Injustice in the coming days. Anyway, what can I say? PS3 quality visuals, you can tell that much, but after playing this version, it just hit me. Fighting games are much more convenient to play on portable consoles. They are quick to set up and are perfect to pick up and play. Maybe that's just me, but I much prefer playing my fighting game. Okay, now as you saw right there, the sound quality was very good. The speaker over here, it is marketed as a Dolby Digital kind of speaker, and normally those are just put on the box normally for every other smartphone, but this I do believe it. The sound is very good, even when you consider that this is at the back of the smartphone. Now also, as you can see with this YouTube app, I was letting you look at the screen angles. The viewing angles are very good. As I said, the screen, amazing. Now you can, with this YouTube app, look at your comments. You can post a comment right here as well, which is good. You can swipe over here to look at related videos, and you can swipe over here to look at the author, which is me, and you can see how much subscribers I've got, my uploads, views. You can subscribe, you can scroll through the rest of my videos. Everything about this app is great, and I would definitely recommend that you go for the Pro version. It'll give you some more features, and it'll also get rid of all these ads as well. And that is a worthwhile thing to spend your money on with this smartphone. So, that is my review of the Lumia 930. Would I recommend it? Previously, when I've reviewed other Windows Phone smartphones, I said that I cannot personally sort of like imagine myself using Windows Phone on a daily basis. Has my opinion changed with the Lumia 930? Well, I am glad to say yes. If I could not get an Android smartphone, or say if I was sort of like bored of Android, then I would, yeah, without a doubt, go for Windows Phone. It's so much fun to use, and the operating system is so fluid. The apps definitely have to improve, like, tremendously for me to, like, get my full experience, because the Twitter app is definitely good, but then you get some other apps which are not as good as their iOS or Android counterparts, like IMDb, for example. So definitely I would like the apps to be more improved, but that's really my only main problem. Everything else about the smartphone has been wonderful and great. I've really enjoyed using it. And I find myself picking this up a lot, just to sort of like look around on the smartphone and navigate around the operating system. I never normally do that with Windows Phone because I tend to have this sort of like feeling of boredom going into it, but now everything seems to have been refined. And I like the fact with multitasking now, what you can actually do is swipe down to close them off. Normally you couldn't do that with Windows Phone, but now they've implemented that. The battery life is also great. I've easily been getting a day to a day and a half use every single time. So overall, I really do love the Lumia 930, and if I was on the market for a Windows phone, this would be the one I would definitely pick up without a doubt. So thank you guys very much for watching. This has been Eric from ecommon12.blogspot.com. Please follow me on my social networks. You'll be able to find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Google+. You can ask me any questions on those websites, or you can ask me a question in the comment section below, and I'll gladly answer as soon as possible. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see all of you next time. Take care.